Hello, everyone. I'm here today to talk about a very important topic which is dear to the heart of people in the corporate world. It's part of their life if they want to advance in their career. And everyone will ask, what is this about? I'm here to talk about interviews. As we all know, interviews are very important aspects of people in the corporate world. They are basically a meeting or a conversation between an applicant and a prospective employer. So it's basically for the employer to assess the skills, the experience, and the personality of the employee to know whether the employee is basically fitting the roles that's being applied for. There are three main things that we are going to look at it today. We are going to look at what to do before an interview, what to do during an interview, and what to do after an interview. But the focus today is mainly going to be on what to do before an interview. Yes, interviews are very important, as I said, for people in the corporate world. But what are the things that we need to do as people before we go for an interview? Yes, the first thing that you need to do before you go for an interview is to first research about the company. You need to understand the mission, the vision, the values, the services the company is is into to learn about the organization. Also, you need to understand the job role. What job am I applying for? What are the responsibilities that comes with the job so that you can align your skills with the and experience with the job that you are applying for. Also, you need to take it upon yourself and practice some common questions. There are some common questions that comes across all interviews. Introduce yourself or tell us about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? These are common questions that you find in an everyday interviews. Practice these questions, come out with ideas, come out with answers that fit the role that you are applying for. And one good thing that I also tell people is whenever you answer an interview question, it is in your genuine interest. It is very important to back it by practical examples. I think with time, as we go on, we will have some of these practical examples how to answer interview questions, and you get to know when you are going for an interview. Another thing is to also prepare questions for the interviewer. Assume you are the interviewer. Put up some questions, come up with an answer. If you find that answer, I mean, if you find that answer good enough, then I think you're on the right path. Formulate your own questions, formulate your own answer, and answer them. Also, you also need to update your resume. Most people have one resume. They use the same resume to apply for all jobs, irrespective of the responsibilities. No. At each point in time, you need to fine tune your resume to suit the role that you are applying for. It might be the same role. Let's say you are applying for an accountant position. Yes, accountant position, maybe the role or the requirement that is needed in company A is not the same requirement that is needed in company B. But because it's an accountant position, you assume it is the same thing. You have one CV that you use to apply to all the content. It is wrong. You need to, at each point in time before you apply for any role, just read out the roles carefully and fine tune your CV to suit the role you are applying for. Another thing is to also plan your attire that you are going in for. What role am I going in for? Am I going in for a professional role? Am I going in for a casual role? I always say, so even if it's a casual role, you need to look formal when you are going for an interview because first impression counts. Understand? When somebody is coming to your house and the person is dressed shabbily, I don't think you will like it. The impression you will have about the person the first time will be a wrong impression. So first impression is very important. You need to, put yourself high and appear good to the people. Also, organize your documents, that you used in applying for the job. Your CV, get a copy of it. Before, and even before you go for the interview, you've gone through your CV, so that, because most of the questions will even come from your CV. And if you just copy and paste, when questions are being asked from the CV, you find yourself wanting. So you need to prepare, glance through your CV very well, understand whatever you've written in the CV before you go for the interview. So your CV, your certificate, possible references, just mostly, currently, most CVs you don't put in your references, but just have a copy of a reference sheet where you have all your references on, and present to them if you are being asked. The last thing that you need to do is to map the location of the place that you are going for an interview. You need to be on time. Never be late for an interview. And I also say never go for an interview too early. Somebody will ask, what is too early and what is too late? I mean, going for an interview, getting there between 10 to 15 minutes time, to me, it's okay. Going for an interview, 1 hour, 30 minutes, the employer to me would think you are too anxious for the position. So don't be too late and don't be too early. 10 to 15 minutes time should be okay. If you don't really know the place, then you can take time getting there maybe within 20 minutes time, because you have to find your way, get to the office. Now you have to find your way to get to, the room, sit down and wait. Should be okay, but it shouldn't be too early for the interview, and it shouldn't be late too for the interview. I think this is what I have for you tonight. The next meeting tomorrow, we are going to talk about what to do during an interview. Thank you so much for your time. And as I said, please, if you like this, please subscribe to it, click, share, and let this video go viral. Thank you so much.